If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
Hey, my friends, welcome to another crazy episode with Christine McIver. That's me. Yes, welcome everybody. I am the host of the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network. And tonight we are talking all about, let me think, business. Yes, we are talking all about how to grow your business now. Anybody else out there in their own business looking to grow their business? I would love for you to come and join us. If you're listening live, if you're listening on the app, either way, wherever you're listening from, you can come and join us in the chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. And from there, you would be able to ask some questions. You're going to actually be able to come in and actually join our live recording studio as well. And if you have questions, if you have comments, if you just want to listen in, lean in to learn more about this topic tonight, I'd love to have you join us. So before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. If this is the first time you are joining, I am Christine McIver. I'm a strategic business coach, and I am the owner and the founder of the Inspired Choices Network. I'm also someone who works with individuals and organizations to really look at how they can bring everything that they desire together and have pleasure doing it. That's right. Have you ever heard of that? Having pleasure with your business? Most people don't see their business as something that can be pleasurable, but I do. And that's what I do is I work with individuals to bring more pleasure, more joy right here, right now in their businesses, and do it strategically and actually grow their business, make more connections in the world, and have more prosperity, whatever that word means to you. So I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me at Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. That's my email address. You can find me at my personal website, inspiredchoices.ca, of course, on the Inspired Choices Network website, as well on any social media platform. If you go there, you're probably going to see my name and see this face. So I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to know what you think about tonight's show. So let's get into it. So tonight's show is how to grow your business now. How many of you are struggling with your business to grow it and to really, that sometimes it's often paralyzing and often seems like it's not going to actually shift for you. You as an entrepreneur will have your own story as to when and how your business growth happened or didn't for you. Either way, you can grow your business now. There are several reasons why your business struggles and many opportunities to grow your business more easily as well. Now, if you're someone that is struggling with your business, that might actually tick you off, and that's okay. Because what that means is that you are ready. You are ready for the change. You're ready for whatever is required to be able to make you and your business grow. So if I'm ticking you off, I'm going to ask you to lean in. I'm going to ask you to listen. Give yourself that opportunity to change things. So tonight we're going to speak about many ways that you can immediately grow your business and have more pleasure doing it. And the very first thing is, if you're coming to the table to listen and to really grow your business, no more excuses, my friends. No more excuses. No more focusing on what's not working. Let's make your next business day one of more joy, more pleasure, and way more ease. And as always, the choice is yours. And I would really invite you to choose again. Don't stop. No more excuses. Exactly, Keisha. No, hashtag no more excuses. It is so incredibly easy when you are in the struggle of your business to come up with the excuses and the reasons why, right? And whether this is we can do that all the time. We actually do that all the time. How many of us actually don't wake up and the first thing we think about is all our problems, all the things that we need to be doing differently, all the ways and spaces and places that there's a problem we need to focus on, or, oh my gosh, I have to deal with that again, or, oh God, how am I going to deal with that? Or is it going to change today? Is it finally going to change? Do you ever hear your voice in your head sounding a little bit or something like that? Well, I do. I'm here to admit that I hear that all of the time. We all do. We all have those negative things come in. I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it again. 80% of people in the world will change when there is a problem, 20% when there is pleasure. What do we pay more attention to? We actually pay more attention to the problems. We actually pay more attention to the challenges because we want to pay attention to what we don't like. And when we're paying attention, we think when we're paying attention to what we don't like, what's not working, that's actually going to change for what we do desire. I'm sorry, and don't be mad, but it's not true. That is actually not true. Now, let me clarify that a little bit. Keisha's laughing in the chat room at me. Keisha, you laughing at me? And maybe lots of you are laughing, and that's okay. But I'm here to tell you it's not true. And the reason that it's not true is because when you're focusing on something, you get more of it. You know that. If you're listening to my show, you're probably someone that's much oftentimes very in line with the possibilities and the potency of your words, the potency of your choices. You may be in line with the law of attraction. You may actually really get that you have the ability to create in your life just by thinking about things. We actually do have these potencies within us. We just oftentimes don't have the cognitive knowledge about how that is, how it can work. I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite books. And this is a book that actually will start to give you that cognitive knowledge on how this actually works. So scientifically, it's fantastic. So the book is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It is one of my most favorite books. It's definitely my favorite book of 2021. And it really does lay things out, things that I've known, but in such a scientific way that the geek in me gets really super excited. Okay, I'm going to give you a simple example to prove my point. You're driving down the road and you're frustrated. Something's gone on in your life. You're frustrated. Do you actually drive along with total ease, or do you end up with all of the idiot drivers getting in your way, the potholes, all the red lights, everything just an absolute mess, which increases more of your frustration? Well, I know the answer to that, and I'm sure that many of you are thinking the same thing I'm thinking. You get more frustrated. Why? Because that's the energy that you are in. You, my friend, you are a magnet. I am a magnet. We are all magnets. What we think about becomes part of what is going on in our bodies. And what's going on in our bodies repeats back to us. And that's going on in our minds. That's why when you wake up in the morning, and when I wake up in the morning, that's why I'm thinking some of these heavy negative thoughts, right? Because they're still in me. And what I work on every day is to, when I notice these thoughts coming up, is to actually start to let go of these thoughts and to start to focus on what it is that I truly desire, not just to ignore them, not to just push them aside, but to actually see the lie in them and to get rid of them. And that's what I'm going to invite you into tonight. Okay. So this is lesson number 1. It's very simple. What you focus on, you get more of. And if you've been focusing on the negative in your business for more than, 10 seconds, you're going to get more of that. If you've been in business for a week, a year, 10 years, and you keep looking at what's not working, you're going to get more of it. And that's why it keeps coming in. That is the magnetic experience you are putting out to the world. And I'm going to challenge you tonight. I am going to challenge you, and I'm going to invite you in to choosing something new. Now, what if, just play with this right now. What if you chose something new that I'm going to talk about tonight for 1 minute a day for the next 21 days? Let's say the next 21 days, 1 minute a day, you make this vow to yourself. Okay, I'm going to do this. Oftentimes I'll write it down on a Post-it note, and I'll say, okay, I'm going to commit to myself. I'm going to commit to my business to do this one thing a day for the next 21 days. Do you think that possibly something might begin to shift in your life, in your business, but most importantly, in the choices that you continue to make after those 21 days? Yes, it will. It will begin to shift. Now, here I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you a little kick. All right. Nobody can change your business. Nobody's going to give you the answer. Nobody's going to give you the right way to go unless you decide to choose it. You can have all the information. You can take all the courses in the world. But if you don't decide to choose something different each and every day, absolutely nothing is going to change what's going on for you and your business. So I'm here to tell you that while that is true, what is also true is you can change it quickly, and you can start to change it now. Okay. We are going to go to our first break of the show. And when we get back, we're going to start to really dive into how to begin to grow your business. And, we always need to unpack things. We always need to kind of get a foundation for how this is going to go tonight. And when we get back, we're going to dive deeply into what is happening and how to do this quickly. So you're listening to Inspired Choices with your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Stay tuned, my friends. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here. Now, let me ask you, are you ready? Are you really ready for what we've got tonight? Because we're going to be talking about and really leaning in on how to grow your business now. All right. So if you missed the first segment, it was a really important piece that you need to go back and listen to, because you got to get your mindset straight. There's a lot of people out there talking about mindset, and they're bang on. We need to have our mindset straight in order for us to move forward and achieve our desired goals and targets, whatever it is. You got to have your mindset straight. Okay. The first thing, my friends, that you have to not only believe, but know deeply in your bones is that your business actually can grow. So ask yourself, do you believe that your business can grow? Do you? Or have you bought into the lie of lack, the lie of poverty, the lie of not me, the lie of everybody else? It never works out to me. It's always like this. Have you bought into any of that past? Yeah, most of us are living in our businesses from our past experiences. Most of us wake up in the morning with those thoughts, and then we come to our business, right? Wherever it is, whether it's away from your home or at your home office, whether it's in a shop somewhere or it's at a computer, and we come and we look at everything and we go, see, it's still the same thing. What are you expecting to change if your mindset is still the same? It can't. It can't change until you're ready to change your mindset. Okay, so now that you got that straight, and now that you're ready and you're willing to know that definitely it is possible, let's go from there. Tell me something. This has been a question that's been in my mind all day to ask you tonight. What does it mean for your business to grow? What does that look like for you? Have you thought about that? What does it mean for my business to grow? And if you're in the chat room, if you're listening, I would love to hear what you have to say. I believe that most people, if they heard that or they read that title for tonight's show, is their mind immediately went to money. Money. My business growing means more money in my pocket. Hands up, tell the truth. How many of you thought that? Well, it's not a wrongness if you thought it, but it's a very narrow thing if you thought that. It's very narrow because what we're oftentimes doing is we're complaining just in our minds or in our lives about our businesses not, giving us what we want. It's not meeting our desires. And then we have this expectation in our mind. We have this outcome that if our business was actually growing, it would have more money. And it's very narrow because that's the only tunnel, that's the only pipe that we're willing to receive. And that's actually one of the things that actually comes and expands and grows in our businesses. Kind of like if there's 10 things in your business to grow, it's one of the last things that grows, but it's the one thing primarily that most of us are focusing on. And we're saying in our minds, if that's not growing, then my business isn't growing. My business isn't doing well. I personally, as the owner of the business, I'm failing. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. But what you're doing is you're narrowing your focus on what it means to actually have your business grow. And the only thing that you want to see happen is to have that grow. It's kind of like if you have a child and you desire for that child to be happy and for that child to be successful, right away your mind starts to kind of categorize what that looks like, right? But when you think about a child being happy, right, you can think of many different aspects that will create happiness in that child. First of all, that child is healthy is one way to create happiness, that child can read, that child can learn, that child can communicate, make friends, complete tasks, feel confident, be able to go to school, be able to actually go out into the world without you needing to be there all of the time. There's a lot of different aspects for your child to be happy. But when you're focusing on your business growing and one aspect, you're missing out on so many other things that can actually grow your business right now. Okay. The very first thing that your business, how you can make your business grow immediately, is by you actually choosing to be the voice of your business and start communicating with other people. Many, I would say probably most people in their own business, they're mitered down underneath the admin. And I know I've got a lot of administrative work to do. I have my own business, plus I have the network, the Inspired Choices Network. There's a lot of details. There's a lot of administrative work, and I can for sure easily get caught up in that. And that is actually not going to grow your business. It's an essential part to keep your, as we say in Canada, keep your stick on the ice, but it's not going to grow your business. You, as the owner of the business, you as the entrepreneur, you need to be communicating with other people. You need to be connecting with other people. And connecting with other people is not, ordering advertisement or putting up posts or, paying for somebody else to do something else. That is actually a great addition once you are communicating with people, but it's nearly like people can't hear it or see it without you out there communicating. Now, of course, you don't have to be communicating with others, but the fastest way to grow your business today is to start to communicate with other people. And it's not like you're going out being, pushy and you're saying, hey, I want to tell you all about my business. No, go out there and make connections. Even just going online and seeing who's online and whatever social media platform that you enjoy being in, reach out to somebody and say, hey, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. How's things going in your business? How's things going in your family? Communicate with them, connect with them. What will they do? They will come back and they will start to communicate with you. You cannot talk about your business if you're not communicating with other people. Now, as you're doing that, if you make a commitment to communicate with one new person a day, just one, which takes about maybe a 5-minute texting back and forth, or maybe you do a quick video call and you have a conversation with people and you get to know them a little bit. As you do that and start to speak with them, they will start to speak with you. And that's where you start to commune. That's where you start to communicate in the world. There, see, somebody's wanting to communicate with me. That's where you start to commune and you communicate with other people. And that's where your business starts to get attention. It starts to get attention. First of all, you're giving it attention because you're using your voice to communicate with someone else. That immediately starts to bring energy into your business, right? What you focus on expands. You're bringing energy into your business. Then you start to communicate with someone. You're literally talking with someone. That's the second one. That's the second point of connection and communication. That person now is giving energy to your business just by asking about your business, wondering how you're doing. They may not be someone who is going to buy from you or hire you. They may not be a paying customer, and they don't need to be. Do you understand that energy starts everything moving? So I want you to think about, if you haven't been doing any of these points tonight, I want you to think about your business. It's kind of sluggish. It's got sluggish energy, right? And I think about like it maybe this sluggish, muddy energy is in a pipe. And as you start to move, start to communicate and give attention and energy to your business, that sludge starts to shift. So each time you're giving your business some attention, you're communicating with your business, it starts to shift that sludge. Your your business can actually start to show up more energetically in the world. That's the first step. And it's an easy step. It's a very, very easy step. Okay. So you want to start communicating. That is the key. That is the key for you to get used to start using your voice, for you to get used to starting to feel confident about sharing what you're doing in your business and to really show up and be a representative of your business. Okay. That's the very, very first thing. The next thing is to be willing to really dive into your business and look at what it's asking for and what you could actually bring to the surface. Maybe something needs to be done differently. Maybe you need a different price point, right? What if you were willing to actually look at each of the individual things that you've created in the past and start to really look at and ask, is this still working? Is this still working? Is this still working? And really follow the energy on this, right? In the past shows, I've talked about really getting the energy of something. And if that's something you want to learn, do reach out to me and I can certainly give you some ideas on how to follow the energy and how to get that awareness about it. But you've got to be willing to always look at what's working and what's not working in your business. I'm going to tell you a personal story. I'm going to be vulnerable with you and tell you about how I was experiencing my business feeling like it was stagnated, feeling like it wasn't shifting. And I could not understand what was going on. I couldn't understand what was actually happening with the business. The business was asking for something different. And I kind of didn't have I guess I wasn't asking the right questions. And I wasn't really listening to what it was trying to say. I knew that there was something trying to come through, but I wasn't quite getting it. Well, I finally got it. So here's what was happening. I had created my business, and this is what we all do. We create our business and we come up with the services that we're going to provide, and we come up with the price point, and we really feel like, okay, that's great. And if you're anything like me, you continue to go and you continue to grow. And just like the network, when I first started producing, I was in somebody else's business, and I was under a different website and so on. And I had, as a producer, I was bringing in my own hosts. So they were under my umbrella of the business. And what I was offering had one price point. Well, I just love learning new things. So I was always adding on what we were offering. And as we were offering, I kept bringing that to the table for the hosts. And then what happened, things got out of alignment because the price point was set here. Okay. If you're watching on TV, you'll see this. My price point was set here, but my offer, what I was offering, became higher and higher. And so it was out of alignment. Now, here's the funny thing that happened. And I wonder if you've ever seen this happen. I was bringing more to the table, but I was not pricing that accordingly. And actually, the hosts started to leave. The hosts started to leave, and I couldn't understand. Like, why? Why would they be leaving when I am offering more at less than the value of the price? Well, the key word is the value. The value was not in alignment. The people that were at this price point were bringing to the table what they were willing to put down and what they were willing to receive. That was the value they were paying for. But the values, the services, were actually going above and beyond the value. So the alignment of the people and what they were willing to bring to the table in exchange, it wasn't in alignment. And many of those people, they couldn't receive they were not themselves growing at the speed at which the services were growing. Does that make sense? So as I started to learn, I would grow the business and I would continue to, it's just part of who I am, that I'm looking at new things and I love bringing new things to the table. Well, then I finally changed the price point and it was more in alignment. Well, here's the funny thing. The funny thing is is that the people that were willing to value and bring value to the value services that we were offering, they stayed. They paid the higher price point and they received more, and they grew with the offerings of what we were offering. But the thing is that the people that left, the hosts that it was just no longer a fit for them, and that's okay. The ones that it was no longer a fit for, as they left, I had less number of hosts with a higher price point. Okay. Now each host takes up so many hours, of work to do. What ended up happening, my friends, was I was bringing in a higher revenue with less hours. So the value to my business went up significantly. The value to all of us working in the business went up significantly. And that was me growing my business, because it's not just the financial, the revenue piece, it's also growing in other ways. And so when you're willing to be totally vulnerable and look at what you're offering, what your services are, and really be in alignment with that price point, you can grow your business in different ways. So what did that mean? It meant that I had more time. My team had more time. We now had more revenue. More opportunities started to come forth. More creations, more creative ideas were allowed to flow into my business with these new changes. It was incredibly exciting. Well, I can tell you, I've gone through that same exercise 3 times over the last, how many years? 8 years? I can't even track anymore. It's hilarious. 6, 7. Yes, we're in our 8th year. So the business has grown. The business has grown in many ways, including the revenue, the offerings, and the people, pardon me, that are in the business. The hosts that we have are more in alignment with our offering. It's a win-win for everybody in the business, including the customers. So one of the fastest ways to grow your business, pardon me, is to really look at the services and the price point. Okay, I am apparently going to cough in a second. So we are going to go for our second break of the show. You are listening to the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network with your host, Christine McIver. That's me. And when we get back, we're going to continue to lean into how to grow your business now. Stay tuned, my friends. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
All right, my friends. Woohoo! Tonight's show. I'm having so much fun, and I hope that you are too. This is a show that really can change things incredibly quickly. And as Keisha says in the chat room, so you mean we can raise our prices right now and that could grow our business? Yes, it could. But just because it grows, as I said earlier, we've got to expand our focus on what growth actually means. We've really got to look at that the business grows in many different ways. And when you are doing that, you are including all of the growth. One of my favorite ways of looking at growth is how I grow. One of the biggest ways that you can begin to grow your business is by you growing yourself, by you being willing to look at how you respond. How you respond to customers, how you respond to clients, how you respond to other people doing businesses like you're doing, how you are actually speaking to yourself, the areas in your life that are not working, any challenges that you're having in relationships, in finance, in your body, any and all areas of your life will impact your business. They will. Your business is not a separate, it's a separate entity, but it's not separate from you. You are the main source within your business. And so when you're not taking care of you and you're not doing your growth work, your business is not going to grow. It's just not, because it's like, what do they say? I can't remember that saying. Maybe Keisha will remember it. My producer, Keisha, is brilliant. The business grows as fast as the slowest person within it. That's not the saying, but you'll get the drift of that. So your business is going to grow at the speed of your personal growth. And it's so important that you understand that. It's not just about the business itself and the finances and the customers and all of those aspects. It really has a huge part to do with you. So if you want to grow your business, have more fun, have increased prosperity, you've got to pay attention to where you are. Pay attention to what's going on within you. You, my friends, are the key. And isn't that cool? It's not outside forces that are going to grow your business. It's you. It's you. You were the person that the business came to come through. And it's you that is going to be the major aspect to grow the business. Do you know what that means? Is that any moment you can make another choice. You can choose to, instead of focusing on what's not there, begin to focus on what is there. Begin to acknowledge what you have created in your business. Begin to acknowledge what does go right in your business. Begin to acknowledge all of the brilliance you've ever created in your business, and begin from there. Each day, what if you really, if this is super hard for you, I want you to think about it like this. If you saw your child every day get up in the morning and be sad, what's the first thing you would do? You would probably give your child some love. So tell me, how many of you are actually giving your business some love? Or do you actually connect with your business and start to make demands? Can you imagine if you treated your child the way that most of us are treating our business, making demands? Why is this not better? Why is there not more customers? What's wrong with this, right? Or maybe that's the voice in your head about you. How do you think that you are going to change anything if you are beating yourself up, criticizing yourself? That's not going to change something. That's actually going to impact you in a negative way. And the same is with your business. Give your business some love. Change the relationship that you have with your business, with yourself. Do you understand? It's not, your business doesn't have a point of view about you being happy or not. Your business desires to contribute to you, yes, but your business isn't going to be like being angry or judging you and saying, well, Christine, you're not happy today, so then we're not going to do anything. No, your business is basically like, okay, well, that's the energy you're putting out. Okay, then that's the energy that we are going to replicate. That's where you're at. That's what we're going to replicate. It's no surprise if you go back, if you're a journaler, let's say, or you're somebody that keeps track of things in calendars, and then you look at your finances on a week-to-week basis, and you look at the connection between what's going on in your life and your business, you will see a parallel. I know that you will. It really has so much to do with you. So this is where it's a gift in knowing this. It's because you can change it. Now, side note, if you're struggling emotionally, if you're struggling financially, if you are struggling, with your body, if you're struggling with relationships, if you're struggling with mindset, hire a coach. You want to change something fast, get support from a professional who knows exactly what to look for and has some fast tools to begin to change it. It makes the world of difference. I hire coaches all of the time because I desire to focus on what I desire. And when I know that I'm out of alignment, when something's off, I reach out, I put my hand up and I ask for help. I am no longer embarrassed or ashamed or worried about what someone's going to think of me. I care more about my experience of myself than I do about what other people think of me. And do you know what that has done in my life? Since I've chosen to focus there, it's actually drawn more people to me. It's actually drawn more people to me that appreciate my vulnerability, that appreciate me showing up again and again with what's not working, with the desire to change it. Now, there might be times when you show up to a friend and what your friend does, and your friend is used to you whining and carrying on. Well, that friend is just going to go down into the muck of, oh, I'm so sorry, that's so sad, and blah, 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 blah. You can have a little bit of that. You can have a little bit of that, lick your wounds, and then start to reach out for people that can actually help you to change that and watch things start to change in your business. The next thing I want to talk about is being real with yourself, being real with the way that you are doing your business. Do you treat your business as a serious business? Do you? Now, here's some ways to know if you're treating your business seriously, like a serious business. Do you have a dedicated area where you do your business? Is it a private area? Is it an area where you can shut the door and not be disturbed? Are you willing to say to family and friends, I am doing my business. I may be working from home, but I'm unavailable between these hours and these hours. Are you willing to say that? Sometimes it's hard to actually say that to people. Sometimes it's hard to ignore texts, to ignore emails, to ignore phone calls. But if you are doing that, I ask you to think about every action you are taking. Ask yourself, would I take this action if I was working in somebody else's workplace and I was being watched? I joke about all the time. I'll say to people, I got to get back to work. My boss is a real tough one. If she finds out, I'm going to be in trouble. I joke about that all of the time. But honestly, you are your employee. So if you are your employee, would you fire you? Would you fire you, or would you give yourself a raise? And if you wouldn't give yourself a raise, I'm sorry, you're not taking your business seriously enough. I'm going to say it, because you should be the number one person who is willing to do whatever it takes to grow your business and have fun with it. And you know what? When your business is growing and you are connecting with people, you will have more pleasure in your business. You will enjoy showing up because you're not showing up with the heaviness of this isn't working, or I don't know how to do this, or it's always the same thing. You're not going to show up that way. And therefore, your business is going to be more pleasurable. You don't want to be working somewhere where you're not having pleasure. But again, you're in control of that. So let me ask you, what are you willing to do to actually change so that you have more pleasure in your business? Are you willing to be honest with yourself and vulnerable? Are you willing to say, you know what? I need to show up as the professional. A lot of people joke, and this has been going on, of course, for many, many years, but most certainly in the last year, a lot of people, there's all sorts of things going around on social media about how people are sitting at their desk doing, a video call, and they're only, got a top on from here up, and they might be in their casual shorts or their pajama bottoms or whatever. And they're joking about this. And you know what? Okay. But guess what? You're not taking your business seriously. You're not. If you wouldn't operate or show up in a workplace where you're being watched the way you are showing up at home, then stop it. Stop it. Start setting your alarm. Get your ass to your seat on time. Get yourself dressed properly, showing up. You don't have to be in glamour makeup. You don't have to be in your best jewels. You don't have to be that way, but show up professionally. Start to take yourself seriously so that you're starting to take your business seriously. You start to take your desires seriously, and you start to take your targets seriously. Things are going to change because you are choosing to be a different energy with your business and with yourself. I know that these are probably not what you thought was going to start to grow your business very, very quickly, but these are the foundational things that if you don't have them in place, listen, my friend, you could pour thousands into marketing. You could pour thousands into advertising. You could hire the best employees. You could do whatever the heck. But I know that when the leader of an organization is not showing up with the proper mindset, with holding themselves accountable, with being professional and being willing to look at where their business is at and what needs to change, it doesn't matter whether you're a one-man show or you've got 1,000 employees, that business is not going to succeed, and it's certainly not going to grow. And I've worked for some large corporations, and I was working for this one business, and I am telling you, the leader that we had in the organization, this business was growing and growing and growing, and we were about to go public. And that leader, he wasn't the president of the organization, but he had changes in his health and changes in his family, and he chose to retire. It was the right choice for him. He had laid the groundwork. He had trained. He had done all sorts of things to set that business up for success. And the minute that he left, everybody started to be, it's all about them and be selfish, and they weren't still driving in the same direction with the same integrity that he had. And that business went from just about going public to barely still going. I'm telling you, it was shocking to see that change so quickly. The leader of the organization sets the pace. So ask yourself, what pace am I setting in my business? This is absolute key. Okay, we are up to our third break of the show, my friends. Stick around. We're going to come to a conclusion after this break. You're listening to Inspired Choices with your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. I'll see you after the break. Stay tuned.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Okay, my friends. So tell me, what's popping for you after listening to tonight's show? What is popping in your awareness about what you could be choosing that's going to change your dance, that's going to grow your business, and most certainly grow your pleasure with your business and your day-to-day? That's so important, my friends. It's so important that you be willing to continuously look at what's going on in your business and what's you're choosing and not choosing. A really, really big, important piece to this is to understand that change is constant, right? Change is inevitable. And when you are willing to look at that, and when you are willing to honestly see that there's something new available to you, or that something's no longer working, that's when something can truly, truly change. And you have the potency, you have the power, but you got to be willing to be honest with yourself. If something's not working, you've got to choose something new. You've got to choose something new. You already know that, but are you holding yourself accountable to that? Do you desire for your business to continue to be in existence? Do you desire to have more pleasure in your business? Do you desire to have something different in your life? Do you desire to have something different in your business? This is an important aspect for you to ask yourself again and again. So we have gone through so many different aspects tonight with the show. We've gone through so many different aspects talking about how you can grow your business and grow your business to have more prosperity and more fun. Remember, the main key here is you. You are the one that can grow your business, and you're the one that can make something even more amazing than it's ever been before. So next week, we're going to be talking about, are you willing to succeed in your business? Yep, another business show. And we're going to be talking about more of the keys that's going to change what may or may not be working for you in your business. It's important, my friends, that we all have more pleasure in our business in order for our businesses to grow. And we be willing to add more things to our business. We be willing to change what we set in place that we thought was done and maybe is no longer working. We've got to be willing to look at the aspects on a continuous basis. Think of your business kind of like a vehicle. It needs new tires. It needs new brakes. It needs the oil changed. Your business needs these things as well, because change is constant and you're changing all of the time. What's going on in the world around you is changing, and that includes what's needed in your business. You have the power. You have the power and you have the potency to change all of it. If you could change just one thing, what would that be? Ask yourself that question. If you could change just one thing, what would it be? And then go about doing that. Go about having that happen in your life, in your reality, and watch how much more fun you can actually have with your business. Until next week, my friends, I want you to remember this one thing. You can always make another choice. Until then, you take good care, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.